We heard it in the interview earlier on. They felt refreshed, and you could tell with the way they were playing, but we are straight through the bans here for our last game. Hard Random on the left, INTZ over on the right. Least in the Blanc is here, the three bans up from the CIS side, and the Brazilians have banned Siva, Hecarim, Gragas. Rek'Sai the first pick. Jarvan already locked in though.
Yeah, so Revolta on Jarvan just committing to this mid game. And it's like 5.7 never happened. We've got a Rek'Sai versus a Jarvan. We're probably going to see at least one warrior come through. Yang also picks himself up a Morgana. I like Morgana against Rek'Sai. It means can't gank AD carry because Rek'Sai just does no magic damage, can't break through that black shield.
Yeah, it's been a popular pick for Hard Random as well, so taking away that, giving themselves some flexibility. Both these champions on the Brazilian side actually can move around in different roles, but you have to think that's a jungle Jarvan to match the aggression there from Rek'Sai, and Lulu Malco going very tanky and a good utility pick as well.
Yeah, we certainly are, and all of a sudden to protect the AD carry comp is a very real threat coming through here, although Nunu would have been a more, I guess, appropriate jungle coming through if that's what they want to go for. But if they lock in something like a Janna, Lulu, Janna, Maokai, and an AD carry is very hard to get on top of.
Yeah, and thankfully almost denied them the Morgana by picking it away. We've seen the Hard Random really do prioritize the pick, so if that's what they want to go for, they'll be unfortunate, I guess, that they won't have access to the Morgana, but good starts here so far. Lulu's been a very popular ban, especially on day one, so it's good to see, you know, some of the bans adjusting. Hecarim, Gragas in particular, not seeing nearly as much play, and that does open up the picks like Lulu that were banned away very often in the first stages.
Yeah, exactly right. So that one snuck through. Now we're seeing double AD being hovered by INTZ. Has been swapped over at the last minute, once again committing very heavy to the mid-game. Rumble, Lucian, once again, two team fighters looking to get in and mix it up, and that's what they've gone with.
And unlike the last time Yang played Rumble, despite the winning the matchup he managed to get away with, it's not Anar that he has to play against here, it's the Maokai, and that, I believe, is much more in Rumble's matchups that he does like to go into.
Yeah, it certainly is. He does a very good job in that. Maokai is able to survive a lot of the lanes, but this is one of them that the Rumble should be able to get ahead in. So we'll see exactly how that one works out. Lex, interestingly enough, insta-lock Graves off the back of that Lucian pickup. Graves is kind of very similar to Lucian, likes to play around his spells, but he auto-attacks a lot, but the collateral damage is just so much more game-changing than the culling coming through. Culling very consistent damage, so you are more forgiving, but if someone lines you up with a buckshot, with a collateral damage, throw a Hemoplague in there, as you see Kira picking up the Vlad again, that's just going to be ridiculous amounts of damage.
Yeah, of course there's a Hemoplague here as Kira will get Vlad for the third time, I believe, this day even. And I think he's 2-0 in the last few games, so looking good so far. Hard Random put together a very nice comp here, and Lulu going to be into that support role, but does really enable a champion like Vladimir as well.
Yeah, it certainly does. Gives the speed up, allows him to get on the back line, gives him some extra tanky stats as well with that wild growth coming through. We'll see exactly what Tokas wants to take into the lane. We saw already that the Anivia was tried and failed by Swiffer. I don't know how a control mage does against Vlad just because he scales so ridiculously well. I think Orianna does okay in the lane, but doesn't historically, like, I guess, outright win it. And we'll see exactly what they want to go with.
I mean, my thing is, I don't know how anyone does well against Fight, because he gets to a point where you just can't push him out, but I think INTZ are going to make sure and go all in on mid-game power here, and I do like the last pickup, Xerath there for Tokas in the mid lane.
Yeah, so Xerath is locked in, and this is a fairly good wombo combo. The idea behind the composition is that Jockster and Revolta layer their ultimates well, and then Tokas just ults who's ever inside the Cataclysm with Jarvan. It's kind of like, I describe it as a basketball hoop, and then you just see how many threes that you can nail from downtown, and they have, of course, the consistent damage coming out of Lucian to make do with that. On the side of Hard Random as well, they have a very rush forward, get in your face composition. Historically, Xerath deals really well with that. It sounds weird, but he deals not well with gap closers and very well with people that have to walk towards him quickly, because he just throws out that shocking orb, all of a sudden you're stunned up. He has the AoE slow as well to come through from his kit. So he deals very well with people that walk at him. However, the Maokai, that's the big question. If Smurf can get on top of Tokas, a lot of their damage will fall away.
Yeah, weirdly enough, Xerath who's definitely known for a lot of poke, long range, and I guess quite a bit of burst coming through. For me, Xerath also occupies a semi or maybe soft control mage aspect as well. It's not all in on the control like a Lulu or an Orianna, but has a surprising amount of control kind of weaved into that kit.
Yeah, he certainly does. He has very good zone control with coming through with the stun and also the slow in his kit, so he sets up ganks very well. He's similar to a control mage in that fashion, I agree. He also is pseudo bursty as well because every single spell in his kit does damage. It's always dangerous when that happens. Like Ziggs, he used to hit you with everything and all of a sudden he just had that many ratios that you would eventually die. And Xerath is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and for a slightly surprising turn here for our last game, we do have a pause to kick things off, but nothing too bad, I'm sure, as we are going to get back into the game as soon as possible. Into the game, I guess, as soon as possible. I have to say, you look at the two team comps, lots of mid-game strength there on both sides, but Hard Random once again going to look to their mid laner to really get the scaling up.
Yeah, they certainly are. So Kira is that late game insurance policy coming through. He's got the Vladimir again. He also makes everyone else's late game ridiculously strong. Graves, who's not known as a late-game hyper carry, although has a very good steroid in that quick draw, with a Vladimir in the lineup, all of a sudden just does silly AoE damage coming through on top of that Hemoplague. So I like the direction that they have gone with the composition. Definitely sufficient damage to come through.
Yeah, sort of a lot like Sivir. If you're ignored as an AD carry, you can get close into melee range and just use the steroids in your kit. With Sivir, it's the Ricochet and her passive, I guess. And with Graves, it's definitely the quick draw. If you can actually just get everyone else to get in and just get in front of a big AoE like Hemoplague and just start shooting people, they die so quickly. Graves, effectively a melee champion when he's doing most of his damage, a lot like Sivir, who's also short range. So as they set things up nicely, it's just a big chaotic fight that Graves can clean up in. Lex will tear through people as late game Graves.
Yeah, he certainly will. And, you know, he's got a, quick draw is a great attack speed steroids, and he builds critical strike naturally. He goes like IE Yomu's or IE Phantom Dancer generally on Graves. So yeah, if you are able to ever free hit, you definitely are able to fulfill the role of just being an auto attack based carry.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Vladimir Jinx in other regions as well. That's been the big AoE combo that people like to pull together. It's a lot more late game oriented though. So some of these more early mid-game carries like the Sivir, like the Graves, do augment the Hemoplague quite well. And it's not quite a Jinx rock at the collateral damage, but you throw a Hemoplague down and just whoop out the Graves ulti, it's pretty close.
Yeah, it hasn't got the execution value, but definitely fulfills the upfront burst damage aspect. And I definitely am looking forward to seeing how they get this combination going.
Well, we are going to have to see now as we are onto the rift for our final game of the International Wildcard Invitational second day. Hard Random from CLS take on INTZ from Brazil, and it's an important game, especially for the Brazilian side. A win here clinches them into the playoff stage.
Yeah, but Hard Random also need to ensure that they carry over momentum. Last game, they need the 4-2 scoreline. 3-3 might not be enough to get it done. So we'll see exactly what happens here.
We will indeed, and Hard Random, they've been, ever since they lost, they've just started winning. They've rattled off 2 consecutive wins today. Can they make it a third? And for INTZ, it'll be the same situation as Macau. Goodbye, Trinket Ward.
Yeah, able to take that one down, uses a passive. So in the end, that is first CS picked up for Macau. Of course, Ward's counter CS now. And that's really good for him. He's got some extra gold.
I assume he,
richest man on the map.
He is. He is indeed. See that gold deficit that's hidden there? That's what that is. That's the 5-10 extra gold that's coming through. Oh, huge money there coming in there. That's basically a spell thief's proc from a support.
Yeah, exactly right.
Winning so hard. How did he even get that kill? That's my question. I was going to say, I assume he had either W or E skill when he saw it go down, but with the Q, somehow managed to kill the ward.
He must have managed to Q someone, or at least get it off and miss the Q and then double hit the ward, because there is no way you can run all attack speed and you still not get 3 auto attacks on a ward.
Yeah, so interesting stuff there. I assume it was someone getting tapped. Not even the Scuttle Crab there to help you out, unfortunately, but we are going to break out, and curiously enough, it is standard lanes here for the first time in a while here today, you have to think, and I don't know who that favors exactly. Yang's probably happy with the matchup. Mid lane's kind of a wash, so not too worried there. Vlad's going to be behind anyway. And in the bottom side, it's 2 very aggressive AD carries.
Yeah, I think it actually favors Hard Random coming through here, because they have better layered CC to help out ganks coming through for Symphony on Rek'Sai. And Rek'Sai only has to use one ability to get in for the gank, and actually does a little bit more damage than Jarvan early game. So we'll see exactly how it does work out. But right now, I'm a little bit more confident in hard random.
We'll have to see, but in the top side, Smurf did teleport there after taking away a camp, so we'll have a bit of an experience lead, but Yang, recognizing that, has pushed in quite aggressively, and Revolta going to go in for another level 2 game. He's snuck in unnoticed.
Yeah, he certainly has, because this is just so early, and he started top side of the map. Lex and Demonco have to be careful.
Yeah, Revolta coming in now. Flash forward for Jockster. Gets the point blank fighting. Follow-up CC just misses, but they will flash in. Macau going to go in for the damage. He ignites down as well. Lex poking where he can. A great little lance actually going to turn it around. Lucian has to flash away. Heals at the last second, but goes down to Lex for first blood. And now they'll keep fighting. The minion wave's doing work. Revolta going to come back in. Can he line up the EQ? Does get it there and gets the trade.
Gets the trade, but it is AD carry picking it up for Jungler. That is absolutely massive, and there is no way that J4 can afford to stick around for long enough to shove it into the wave. Another creep wave already there. He might even die to Demonco if he tries it. He is going for it, and wow, that is huge. All of a sudden, Jarvan, he's real fed.
Yeah, he is real fed. And Revolta, we've seen what happens when he gets aggressive. Another level 2 gig as mid lane's going off here. Kira getting low, and Tokas can't quite line up the last skill. But a big ol' in, though, goes sour for the Vladimir.
Yeah, so Vladimir forced out 19 CS to 14. He was just shoving out the wave. That was huge amount of CS going into the bottom turret as Demonco wrecks 4 CS to secure 1. But Lex, he's gone back. He's picked up another Duran's Blade and Boots because he got the kills versus just consumables coming through from Macau.
Yeah, Macau could not afford any major items there because it got first blood and just a bit of assist gold, you have to think. In fact, doesn't even have an assist. It was too late between the kills, so he has no extra gold from that exchange.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Symphony was just able to take jungle experience in camp, so he didn't leech any experience coming through. Probably still in a very similar situation to Revolta because of how the jungle experience now works. Not to mention the fact that if you're ever even in CS and some of it came for lane for Revolta, probably going to mean that he's even ahead in gold as we're taking a look towards top lane now for Rek'Sai. I mentioned that the layering of CC is just so strong. If they ever get on Rumble, it will be a kill.
Yeah, Yang going to get knocked up there as well. No, just misses there for Symphony, who didn't burn the flash in time to get it. Yang just able to flash out from under the tunnel.
Yeah, and they weren't ever going to be able to burst him down, so getting the flash without any summoner spells being extended on hard random side, that's a win, because if every pushes out now next 5 minutes, that's a free kill.
Yeah, and Yang, he loves to get aggressive in the 1v1 lanes. We saw him win an unfavorable matchup there against Anar just by getting a solo kill. And Maokai, you have to think he can really put the pressure on, but early on here in that lane is slightly behind in CS and not quite able to do the work he was doing earlier. And Revolt is getting his jungle stolen now by Rek'Sai.
Yeah, and it's because Rek'Sai just had complete control over the entirety. You see the deep pink ward in there as well. Means that he'll be able to have eyes on Jarvan at pretty much every turn. And Revolta, he started to look for Symphony in here. Oh, he picks it up.
Very nice. Gets both cracks and now going to go in onto Symphony. Tunnel comes through. He pops over a ward, but Tokas is here as well on the Xerath. Good stun. Does hit through the tunnel, but the Q's coming in. Flashes over the top. One auto, not enough. Kira now in as well, but Rumble's coming through. Smurf goes in onto Tokas. Does use the heal there, will Xerath. Now Revolta coming in, but he pulls through it. Going to keep going in. Does get the kill. Gets stunned before it, though. He forces the flash. He goes through. Gets the kill for Yang, and another massive trade.
The snipe harpoon coming through there. Top laner picking up a kill for mid. This time, because of all the assists, probably give it over to Yang because he also gets to go back and get some CS for himself. But boy, Vlad getting an early kill as well, that's dangerous too.
Yeah, I think we expected a fairly bloodthirsty game here in this one, and they have delivered so far in the first 6.5 minutes spawn.
They certainly have. They're really up and in each other's face with a Graves, as well as all of the early game aggression coming out of Rek'Sai and Jarvan. I didn't know what else I expected, but Pedro time, I missed early game junglers. This is much more fun than watching a Sejuani run around.
Yeah, it's real fun stuff here coming through. Revolta continuing the pattern of aggression that he has shown all day long here, and it's been working out, but HR, they are fighting back just the same.
Yeah, it certainly are. So hard random. They actually have a little bit of a gold lead in the early game after Lucian was able to secure the early advantage for INTZ with that ward pickup. So have to see exactly what works out here. As you see Kira, he's just holding the wave now and using all of his abilities to be able to pick up. With the revolver, he's going to stay relatively healthy in lane regardless.
You can see the Rek'Sai near the Dragon as well. Might be thinking about taking it away. Level 4 there actually for the Rek'Sai now, slightly behind in experience. And a little too aggressive there to go in. Can take it away at level 4, pretty comfortable, but maybe just too dangerous, honestly, with 4 people down in the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, and it looks like even though they've gone the early junglers, they're going for the Cinderhulk pickups just to make sure that they're still relevant late game. Don't mind it. In the end, they're going to do more damage through burning people than they ever would with Warrior anyway when people pick up armor. So it's probably a smart pickup from both junglers.
Yeah, just a bit of a smoother transition for team fighting as well, being a bit tankier. But I can tell you, if Revolta had gotten 2 or 3 kills early on, he would straight go for the Warrior.
Yeah, exactly right. Would be looking to snowball that one. Is on 1-0-1. Has been part of both kills coming through for his team. Also might just be a Sightstone as well. We do regularly see a jungle item into Sightstone. It gives you a very good clear, but also helps you with the vision across the map. And, you know, when you're fighting this much, it's always important to know if you were safe to do so.
You can see Yang, though, getting some good farm here, even on the Mako. Not quite able to get ahead here in the matchup, but farming just fine on the Rumble. That's the important stage. No Dragon being picked up either by either of the teams here at this early stage of the game as well. So going to clear out some vision instead. Will Ints maybe looking to get some pressure around, and Lucian, who started to push in the bottom despite the double Doran's advantage there for the Graves, is behind a bit in CS, but is applying pressure, and Revolta wants to solo the Drake away.
Yeah, so they've started up. They're actually bringing more members down. The ping comes in onto top lane, but it must have been spotted out. There was a ward of blue buff, so they will see it. Although now Scrying Orb has come through onto Dragon as well, so they know exactly what's going on.
They'll get a good timer estimate, but can't contest. It looks like Symphony, no ultimate on the wrong side of the map, unfortunately, but a very early Scrying Orb gets some much-needed information for HR.
Yeah, it certainly does, so they know exactly what's going on the top side of the map. Scrattle Crab will be picked up by Symphony. He walked past a pink one and wasn't able to get it, so that's a little bit unfortunate for the hard random lineup. Always important, guys, that if you invade jungle, look in every brush you can, especially when there's no pressure on you.
Revolta going to take away the big Raptor. Actually, apparently wants to collapse some tunnels and look for a dive. Will take the Raptor, finally gets it away. And going to stop a bit of that farm coming through for Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad, he does this really well. He ducks in and out of lane to pick up other jungle camps. You see that he's not really in any rush to get his farm. He knows that Tokkers is going to automatically push in. As we see Yang and Smurf bumping heads again.
And the Rumble damage starting to come through. Equalizer actually down as well. But Rek'Sai's here. Yang gone off a little bit too far now as well. Does have his flash, but can he get away? Taking too much damage now. Silenced as well. Finally flashes just to the end. But a sapling just sitting in there takes him out.
Yeah, able to kill him even though he expended the flash. So now he has to teleport back into his lane. And that was massive. All of a sudden, the Maokai picks up an extra wave of CS, is 1-0-1, and Rumble starting to fall a little bit behind.
That hero sapling was so awesome coming through for Smurf, as Tokkers does get himself the blue buff. Revolta a little low, will look to his Grump and should be able to take it away fairly safely here with 3 points into the queue. He is able to get it down. But Ints, they put on a bit of pressure, but that gold lead there for HR now as well. Up 1,000 gold with a team that you have to say will scale quite a bit better, and we expected more aggression, but after the first 5 minutes, it's really faded away.
Yeah, it certainly has faded away. A little bit of aggression coming through from Yang, once again looking for a 1v1 kill. As we see BF Sword, Longsword being picked up by both AD carries, so they're on the thrift shop meta as well. Just pick up everything you can with the gold available. Want to make sure you have as much raw AD. Both of them use AD really well in their kit as well, so can't disagree with the pickups. But Righteous Glory being picked up, Skirmisher Saber, Cinderhulk, and a Cinderhulk is being picked up by Revolta as well now. So they're starting to get the items they need to fight pace through time. Yeah, I'm sure that next Dragon is going to be Explosions.
Yeah, everyone is powering up, and I like that you mentioned Explosions because it's a volatile bottom lane matchup. Makes sense that the AD carries do want to get some, thrift shopping done and get the early AD. Macau, though, going to face check the brush, immediately dashes away with the E. Does not want to get caught away in a Morgana maybe looking for a snipe, just find onto the Monko. Teleport down there as well. Massive damage after the polymorph, but the Monko going to get low, pops the wild growth and flashes away. Yang on top of Lex doing dumb damage there, but Smurf peels away for him and gets the kill. Cullen goes through, the snipe comes down though. Xerath going to get the next kill. Jockster trying to get away, will flush out of it, and Smurf now going to get caught in a bad position. Revolta going to get the double kill. Smurf going to go in as well. Heal comes down, that's the next one. Kira stunned away there, needs to get in, find the Hemo Plague, but they scatter to the wind. Jockster gets taken out though by all of the Vladimir damage. Hemo Plague down, can he go 1v3? Macau, he's dead there after that Hemo Plague, and Kira gonna get the double, maybe make it a triple. No, can't get it.
So in the end, they get the ace for 3, I believe, falling down on INTZ lineup. Everything being turned on its head. INTZ pick up a gold lead now after being 1,000 gold behind, and that was pretty crazy. Kira flew into that team fight, tried to make the hero play. The fact that he got 2, nearly a third, was absolutely huge. He evened out what was a bad trade.
Yeah, man, let's see it again, Spawn. What exactly transpired here?
Yeah, so they nail the binding, and they have 3 members there already, so they teleport in. And Lex, he unfortunately just takes so much solo damage on the back before Smurf's able to get in that he can't dodge out of all the Xerath damage, runs to the edge of the ultimate. And right here, Smurf makes a critical mistake. You need to burn the Maokai ultimate earlier to get the damage down onto Jockster, because realistically, he dies right there. And all of a sudden, Kira can just fly onto Macau and Revolta instead. Needs to use 1 round of spells. Gets poked out a little bit, use the ultimate, but we're back live with some more action.
Yeah, we're going again. Kira gets stunned up once more there and has to get out. Revolta, though, going to dive back in onto Demonko. Wants to find the dunk, doesn't quite pop the Cataclysm, and Jockster going to get low and goes down to Symphony.
Yeah, so now Symphony's still looking for some more action, and we pretty much called it. We said there'd been a lull. Throw that out the window. 7-7, nearly at 14 minutes. A kill a minute, I'll take that for a game.
Yeah, and just to note, half of those kills came in the last 2 minutes or so, because we had about 5 minutes of action, 5 minutes of a lull, and all of a sudden, like you said, straight out the window for that one. And we're just going massive once again. Dragon back up in a minute 10 as well. The pace will not stop now.
Yeah, it certainly won't. Both teams getting going. The mid game coming through from INTZ. They have to force this pace. And the longer that Hard Random can go with them in a scaling comp, the better off they will be. Maokai isn't getting any weaker. Vladimir definitely is not. So the fact that they're able to play this much of a quick pace game with a Rumble, with a Jarvan, that's absolutely huge.
Yeah, well, it is indeed here. INTZ need to maybe push it on a bit more, but it's risky here. I like to steal away. We'll get the blue over to Tokus. He's not quite level 11 yet, but crucial levels being approached by quite a number of people, and all the fighting honestly split quite a lot of experience. So not even Rumble, actually level 9 as the next dragon comes up. That is a shame there, because that rank 2 ulti would be such a big difference, a world of difference, in fact, around that next dragon.
Yeah, it certainly will be. They'll see now that Morgana's heading down lane in the river. I want to know if they go aggressive on Macau in the bottom lane.
Yeah, going in for Kira now though as well. Binding comes through, will force out the pull, but Revolta going in immediately. Maybe you just go through. Ulti moving in. Good dunk and flash they're coming in, and Tokus nails him for the kill.
Yeah, so they're able to get another kill in the mid lane onto Vladimir this time, who had to burn the summoner spell and still went down. It was a very big commit, but they pick it up, and all of a sudden, Siege in the mid lane against only the melee Rek'Sai, probably going to grab the first objective of the game.
Yep, good turret going to come through. They've already got a dragon as well, and the second one is available for them right now. Can't clear it out just yet. Actually looking for a kill, maybe a Symphony. They're going to get aggressed on the dive, comes through. Binding is good. Ignite almost enough, and Tokus, can he light it up? He can! Yeah,
he was able to get it, so they get the kill. They get the dragon. Everything falling into place right now for INTZ. 2,000 gold lead out of nowhere, and you see Lex, hands on head. He also died in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Macau there with a solo, I believe, there in the 1v1 matchup. Lucian, without an Infinity Edge, somehow made that work.
Yeah, so able to get in there, and if you are able to duel a Graves, and both of them have heal available, you know something just went crazily wrong.
Yeah, Macau, again, shown a lot of aggression today. We saw his Tristana earlier on in the tournament. That was a sight to behold as far as aggression goes. And Lucian not stopping again. I mean, INTZ do need to, again, keep pushing, and they're pushing hard here against Hard Random. Now got themselves a gold lead, 2k up ahead, and looking again for that second dragon.
Yeah, exactly right. And you mentioned the fact that they need to keep running with this. Hard Random need to take stock. They need to understand that there is the ability for them to just stall this game out, because realistically, they're in the position to win if it goes late.
That was a pretty sick 1v1 there, actually. Macau just going in, using all the spells. Even face tanked the collateral damage and was able to take it out just from the early trade damage there.
Yeah, exactly. He was able to get out and get the full reel of spells across. So that put him in good stead to be able to win the 1v1 duel. And we'll have to see whether they can keep repeating it, because now completely even CS, 1-3-1 versus 1-2-2. All of these guys are so involved in the kills. And they've started up the second dragon. Yep,
Int's going to look for it now as well. Want to make sure they can snowball this advantage again. A pretty volatile matchup in general here. And there's a bit more scaling on the hard random side. Ints are really going in for the mid game. So 5th dragon is a very important win condition to this team.
Yeah, it certainly is. And whenever you have a rumble in the top lane, if you're not able to secure the first couple of dragons, then you know that something's gone wrong in the early game, because that's where he really shines. So the fact that Rumble's gone back now, picked up a needlessly large rod, has those double pen item, they're starting up the dragon, they're definitely in the pole position to be able to take this fight.
They've waited intelligently for Yang's power spikes, actually, and that will give them plenty of pressure around the dragon. Tok is even zoning people out. Symphony can't get an eyeball in for that dragon, and Ints take it away clean.
Yeah, that's a smart leave there coming through from Hard Random. They knew exactly what was going on when Yang went back in that top lane, so no reason to force an objective like that. Just allow the game to elongate. Keep farming up. You've nearly got the Abyssal Scepter coming through on your Vladimir in the mid lane. He's getting stronger as well. There's action everywhere.
Yeah, Tok is now Black Shield on top of him. Will try and get out of the CC. It will just run out, but they can't dive back in. Symphony will face tanky Q there, but he's pretty tanky right now, despite just having the Aegis components plus his Cinderhulk.
Yeah, it certainly is. So he's got the extra HP coming through there. As we see top lanes pushing very heavily, will they commit to this mid lane? Actually, no, they go back bottom. Don't want to give anything away for free. And Macau needs to be careful. He might have been caught.
Well,
no.
Fortunately, they already gave something away for free. The minions in the top side took out that outer turret, which is why we've equalized that objective. So a bit of extra gold there coming through as Tokka's in the mid lane getting aggressed on Hemoplague's down there as well. Symphony going to get poked out, and Kira going aggressive. Popped the Ghost even to try and get the dive, but couldn't quite complete it.
Maokai, not Macau. Wow, he's an AD carry. Maokai, he's a tree and a top laner, has gone for the flank as well. Forced him off the turret, and this will be a second objective picked up Hard Random in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, strong rotation here coming through from the CIS side as they can't quite complete it. Minion Wave not cooperating there, but it'll move back in, and Jockster has to roam into the mid to defend.
Yeah, and once again, walk through the brush, Jockster. They know exactly where you are. So you're not surprising anyone with that roam, as they're able to defend the mid turret.
And Xerath wave clear, never underestimated. Actually, looking down briefly, and 5-1-1 is Tokka's score here. Rabadon's almost complete. Athene's done as well. Rabadon's never mind, now actually complete as he puts his shiny new hat on. And all of a sudden, the prospect of taking out the mid lane turret looks quite a bit trickier now.
Yeah, it certainly does. He's nearly a mage. He's got his cup. He's got his hat. Just needs his stick. And all of a sudden, he's going to be doing ridiculous damage.
Soon he will be a wizard as Macau continuing to push down, has Infinity Edge now as well. I like the longsword coming through. I think we might be seeing a Ghostblade spawn.
Yeah, definitely a potential for both of these AD carries to go the Ghostblade build. It gives you 6 seconds of really big power, followed by, I guess, just some armor penetrations after that and some critical strike. Also has a very good synergy with the Infinity Edge and the culling. So wouldn't be surprised to see Lucian bring that one out.
Not at all, as Revolta, glowy hands ablaze there after smiting away some Krugs. Going to move down to the bottom. No dragon there, but they do want to press the advantage on some of these turrets and take some standing gold. Stretch that lead back out here because Hard Random, they brought it back nicely to about 1,000. Revolta could have been caught out here, but Tok is so strong. Nails them with a stun. Symphony now can't shake off this poke, and Revolta going to go in, finds the dunk, but he gets knocked up by the Wild Growth. Snipe comes through for Xerath, and Tok is with his 6th kill.
Yeah, so they get the kill, and they also pick up bottom lane turret at the same time because Graves had to go back to shop. Really nice play coming through from INTZ, and we'll see what they can translate it to now. Only top lane outer left remaining as Jockster nails the bind.
Yeah, bind coming through. Kira forced a Sanguine Pill. No, not yet. Now forced a flash, actually. Possibly even worse as far as cooldowns go. And again, still pushing. No, Macau has gone back. He's got his Avarice Blade. Could be a static shift still, but Ghost Blade still on the table.
Yeah, just getting some gold generation through there. And now Int's trying to secure the top side of the jungle. As we mentioned, only the top outer left up. So that's a good objective to be concentrating on right now. And Smurf, you might have found some more friends, although you pick up a Scuttle Crab.
Won the battle for the Scuttle Crab, so picks up a nice chunk of gold for himself. Seems like the Brazilian members are backing away to their fountain, want to go do some shopping and get some items going through. Revolta 307, another big score early on, got his Aegis already and building up even more magic resist. Rumble getting massive moving in towards the Zhonya's, but we look over on the other side, Infinity Edge Zeal, they're done for Lex and the Graves, and they're diving in. Tonkers goes down to Vladimir after a massive Graves ultimate.
Yeah, so the shutdown coming through. They're in a good position to dive this one as well because they have a lot available.
Yeah, they will take it out. The last two caster creeps just enough to be able to take it out. And that's a second turret there for Hard Random, equalizing the objective.
Yeah, Macau, he's walking past his blue. That wasn't spotted by the scrying orb that came out, so they will just look to get control over this dragon area. It's respawning in a minute and a half, so they're on good click to be able to contest this next one, although you feel like Zhonya's Hourglass is nearly finished up, so that will be a huge spike coming through for INTZ. And this game's on a knife edge page through time. You feel whoever takes this next team fight is in a good position to force the mid game their favor. It will either stall out for Hard Random to get to late game, or INTZ will win the team fight and just continue to force objectives.
Yeah, and they've kept up pace nicely as well. Again, only 1,000 gold between these two teams mean the Hard Random, who were not that far behind, just needed to scale their mid laner more than anything else. And I guess the Maokai as well. Oh, Binding comes through. Who got the red buff? It was Symphony.
Yeah, so Symphony able to pick that one up. You see also the Distortion enchant being picked up now for the Vladimir player. So he's in a great position, has some penetration through there, has also picked up Mercury Treads to make sure that he can get out of any CC that's coming through from Morgana as well as Tockers. And yeah, he needs to go huge in the next team fight if it's going to win. The Hemo play probably needs to hit 2+ members.
It does indeed, as Macau backs away from the split pushing duties he seems to have assigned himself here in this particular game. Yang level 13 doing the same here. INTZ buying a lot of time, just farming between objectives, but that will run out soon. Yang actually doesn't have his teleport, and Dragon's back in 10 seconds.
Yeah, so that's huge. He's going to have to walk down because Maokai has his available. Smurf also going to get a shop in beforehand. See what he is able to pick up. Looks like he's just grabbing Spirit Visage is done, so that's huge against the double AP composition coming through. And they are grouped around this Dragon objective. A lot of control over to the INTZ lineup, and they...
INTZ looking for a pick. I mean, I was about to say that I think Hard Random realized that they're actually in a pretty good spot to fight what's a reasonably fair fight at this stage with all the items coming through. Rumble is here, and he does do massive damage, so they have to be careful, and INTZ will want to pick before anything else, but instead they're just going to aggress onto the Dragon.
Yeah, they certainly are. Flash in.
Oh, good Black Shield. They want to talk as he flashes out. Revolta goes in massive, blocks up Kira, flashes out of the way. The Culling coming down as well, but Smurf, he's very tanky on the front lines here as Yang trying to get it down. He's already used his ulti, but he goes down to Smurf. Xerath there snipes him, but doesn't quite get the kill. Lex now going to get bound up, and HR just diving in now. Jockster going to be the next one to get caught, and it's only one kill, but a kill indeed for HR.
Yeah, exactly right. Stun comes through.
Demonco now in trouble. Revolta going to come in. Burst quite there. He does go down to Macau, and now it's a trade actually coming through.
Yeah, teleport though into the bottom lane. They didn't stick around for long enough, so that is a wasted cooldown. No home guard boots available coming through from Smurf, and the fight may continue.
Yeah, buy some time here at least. Yang does not have his TP when he does return here as well, so we'll have to be careful. Has to walk back down, and that should give Hard Random this Dragon.
Yeah, so first Dragon of the game probably going to come across for Hard Random. You see INTZ is back completely away. Macau actually going to the top lane. He went for a big run up there. Huge minion wave though, so he'll probably get the turret.
Yeah, I mean, Yang going to get denied some CS, but they do want to push out and take their third turret. And what was a pretty close game before is an even closer one now. That gold lead just under 1,000 gold now for INTZ. They've applied so much pressure, but everything has been thwarted so far, apart from the big early action in the first 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And all of a sudden, Macau needs to be careful. There's 3 members in support. Smurf's in.
Yeah, pops the righteous Gory goes in. Demonco going to find him as well. Macau taking quite a lot of damage. Smurf is so tanky. Unleashes the ulti, almost gets the kill by himself, and will pick it up with the twisted advance.
So they're able to get the kill, and all of a sudden, no one in the bottom lane to answer Lex. He's going to grab a turret for himself, and Symphony might look for another fight.
Volta has to get away. EQs himself to safety, but Lex going to take the third turret. INTZ did get the one in the top side, so Revolta's stuck around to get it. Symphony eats a binding to the face, but Hard Random, they've got a wave here pushing. They'll keep shoving in the top side.
Yeah, it looks like they want to just buy some more time for Lex in the bottom lane to continue to farm up. very easy if no one goes and answers that. They're also looking to counter jungle away a red buff. Symphony will grab that and he'll just dash out.
Yep, Jockster tried to get a binding, but led it a little too far to the right. Symphony steals away the buff, and Hard Random starting to get aggressive vision down on the side. INTZ, you saw that game plan. It's get aggressive in the mid game and get a lead, and all of a sudden here, in what's been an even game with a Vladimir in the mid, Kira's Vladimir nonetheless here for Hard Random. Now they're up in gold.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you have to say a bigger power spike coming through for the Graves, because he went the Phantom Dancer route, the late game carry build. As we said, INTZ, they're all in on this mid game. You have a Youmuu's Ghostblade coming through. So right now, Macau, he's strong. But as soon as the next item comes through, Graves, with that last Whisper, going to be pumping out so much damage.
And that early Aegis hurts INTZ so much here because it's Tokkers and Yang, the double AP, who are doing well here in this game. Xerath especially is now a wizard. Got the Rabadons, got the Athenes, and now the Void Staff completed as well. But if they can't line up their AoE and do that big damage or poke out or just find advantageous spots for this Rumble and Xerath, all of INTZ's mid-game starts to crumble away, and Hard Random will push themselves into the late game where they want to be.
Yeah, definitely agree. And, you know, that Frost Queen's claim being finished up as Revolta and Symphony shifts in the night.
Yeah, Smurf going in there, flashes in onto Tokkers, Black Shield down as onto Monko, massive damage there, but Kira gonna dive in. Macau gets the first kill onto the Lulu. Lex, Trunk low there as well. Yang pops to Zonya's beautiful timing there, and now we see Vlad not quite there, but Kira getting low, will look to go down. Macau does take him out, but Lex gonna flash in. Macau very low in there. Yang trying to snipe people with Electro Harpoons there, just over the region. A 2-for-1 trade. Symphony will get denied by a Dark Binding, and a win there for the Brazilians.
Yeah, but they're being continued to be zoned away, and that might mean that they're able to pick up a turret in the mid lane. We'll see what happens here as the recalls are coming through.
Yep, you got the tower being aggressed on as well. Smurf getting some damage on, but Symphony wants to dive in fact, but Revolta joins in to help him. Yang's here as well. That might be a bit too much there for Hard Random, but they'll get away safely.
Yeah, but Yang had to burn the teleport one more time, so this time the advantage is in Hard Random's favor, because there's just no chance that Yang's going to have that available for the next Dragon fight. If they can get the top lane pushing out in their favor within the next 3 minutes, should be able to pick that one up and even out the objectives. And Hard Random, they're really slogged through their weak patch, and right now with only a 400 gold advantage over to INTZ at 30 minutes into the game, you feel that their composition should start eking ahead.
Yeah, it seems like it's getting further and further ahead. Smurf, you saw in that last fight, despite the trade win there for ITZ, he's so tanky on the Maokai. Frozen Heart, Spirit Visage, Merc trades with the Home Guard and a Righteous Glory. You look down to the Graves, he's almost at 3 items. Vladimir just about completed his Zonya's there as well. And even Symphony's starting to get tankier and build in towards the Randu and Zoman. There are fine items here on the inside for sure, but this next Dragon fight will be a tough one for them to take.
Yeah, but the big thing for me, Mikhail's done for Demonko, not done for Joska. And he really needs to have that available, whether it's the Twisting Advance getting in there and seeing up Tokkers, who has just been massive in these team fights, or it's a Hemo Plague on a priority target. Needs to be able to heal someone up, get some of the CC off.
Yeah, Mikhail's just such a good item. When you have these big threats that you're trying to protect, we see a lot of two-threat style here on these patches all around the world. And Mikhail's such a good first item. There was a reason they pretty much doubled the price long time ago.
Smurf can fight here. This is going to be big if he does.
Mikhail, good damage though coming in, but Smurf very tanky. Going to move in. Righteous Glory pop by Maokai. Do want to come in, and a big fight on the backside as well, but Smurf, he's dove in. Demonko is there as well, locking him up at Revolta. Knocks up Symphony, tries to get up, but they can't peel their 80 carry away. Lives for a little while longer, but does go down, and that's a key kill as Jox is forced to flash away. Symphony even chasing in now as well on the wreck side, looking for a Volta. Now Tokker's going to be the target. Stun goes wide. That's not good news for Xerath. Going to keep diving in. Equalizer might keep them away, but Lex going to dive in now as well. No ultimate though for the Graves, unfortunately, and Tokker's tagged again. Going to go in, but does finally go down.
So they get the 2-for-0 kill, and Smurf is unkillable. He is immortal right now. He's picked up his 3 core items, has another chain vest. If that's a Frozen Heart, Good luck killing him once, let alone twice.
And forget the Baron up in 15 seconds. Baron is going to be the target now for Hard Random.
Yeah, so they're able to move in there. Kira zoning 3 members. Jarvan is so low that can't go anywhere near the Vladimir for the steal, and they're just looking to pick this one up for free.
I mean, Baron is getting melted. Yang might be able to find a steal. Jockster goes down to Graves 1v1, peeking a little too close to the Baron pit, and that is going to go over, and all of a sudden the CIS team pushing further and further ahead.
And these guys are looking incredible now, Pastry Time. They have the Baron. All of a sudden their siege doesn't really matter because they've got those super creeps coming through. And wow, the Dragon is now going to be secured off the back of it as well. They take a 2-kill. So it wasn't even really a 1 team fight. It was just a 1 skirmish. And grab every available objective on the map.
And it's been beautiful play ever since the loss. You have to feel if Hard Random do win this game that they'll look back in their first game today and think, what were we doing? I mean, losing to KLG was surprising, honestly, and KLG looked so strong. They split a couple of results today, maybe not looking exactly as good as they would have wanted, and Hard Random beat every other team that was probably favored to beat them here.
Yeah, exactly right. They ran what we were calling the gauntlet. They took out Besiktas. They took out the Chiefs. Now they look like they're on the way to dismantling INTZ with a late game composition. They weathered the early game so incredibly well, and they did it by matching aggression with aggression.
I mean, yeah, they kind of used it to blunt the offense coming through for ITZ. Again, dives came through, but they were always rotating around. Match Jenny push, match Jenny dive. Fought back, got themselves some trade kills, and in an even game, which is what they were sitting at for quite a while, they were totally happy just letting their Vladimir, again, keep scaling up. And Kira, I don't think he's going to be seeing Vlad much more in this tournament.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so, especially because there doesn't seem to be something that they're happy to run in. There's not like the Fizz available that you just go, that's fine, we'll just kill him repetitively with a Fizz. Now that all the, I guess, focus is on the control mages and getting something done, Vladimir just seems to be like an incredibly safe pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've noticed. Vladimir, what's his biggest weakness? The early few levels. When is he strongest? When he hits level 9 and gets his revolver. How much easier does Vladimir's path to revolver in level 9 feel in recent matches?
Yeah, exactly right, because there's not an aggressive jungler coming in, although there was 2 on this patch map. It just so happened that a lot of the focus was bottom lane. And yeah, against a control mage, not much kill potential without the 3 ignites being picked up. There's a mandatory teleport top lane. There's a heal or a barrier generally in the mid lane, and then either an exhaust or an ignite in the bottom lane. It just means that he doesn't have the same amount of threats coming across. They're not stopping all the healing coming up. He's getting 2-3 spell rotations out every team fight. And he's honestly doing freakish amounts of damage. Yeah,
I mean, Vladimir's always done pretty freaky amounts of damage when he's allowed to be unhindered and really just hit whenever he wants. For me, the other thing is the double mobility summoners that Kira's running. He's just not being punished. Again, he's a weak early laner. I don't know which champion he specifically picked, but people need to find a counter pick to Vladimir because everything they've thrown at Kira's Vlad especially has just not been working so far.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think it's actually TF as we jump back into the game that will be the counter, because you can just wave clear against Vladimir, then pack up and leave lane. And if you can't beat the lane, just win the map. And Vlad, whilst he doesn't lose many lanes at the moment, he certainly doesn't win any. So if you can go neutral on something like a TF and then win another lane for your team, then you're doing your job anyway. So I want to see whether a team can pull that one out and really take it to a Vladimir with something like a TF and just control the entirety of the map, not just a zone. But right now, they don't have a TF. They have a Xerath. And if Vlad does anything well, it's push a side lane and then join a team fight.
Yeah, and that's what he's been doing all game and honestly all day long here in Hard Random. Going to keep group together, going to force Insta fight them even under their own turrets. With how tanky Maokai is, now finishing a Thornmail in his last purchase, he just doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly right. He's just able to run up with the Lulu shield on him. So much effective health coming through, and he will dive at the drop of a hat. You cannot go near the turret if you're the AD carry.
No Baron buff here in a massive siege here. Kira even going to tank up the turret. They're completed their Symphony. Dives in as Jockster. We're going to go down in an instant there as Graves gets the first kill. Yang, getting low there as well as he gets Dobra Volta in the middle now, getting taken out. The double kill for Graves there. Kira does go down to Mikala. Triple though coming through for Lex. Going to look in. Good juke though coming in, and they'll take the inhib instead.
Yeah, so they'll take the inhib. Mikal was so low, so they wanted to continue the dive. In the end, not worth it. They'll just take the 3-for-1 trade, the mid inhibitor, go back, clean up their sideways that are absolutely massive. But that is probably the beginning of the end for INTZ. You feel this game starting to slip out of reach.
Yeah, Rek'Sai diving to the bottom side of the map will keep pushing now as well. INTZ again, good side wave control. We're able to keep the bottom and top lanes pushed out, so didn't lose anything more, but Symphony going to start changing that. We're going to have somebody you have to think, looks like Maokai, moving to the top lane and push that away as well. And like you said, the beginning of the end is exactly right, because Hard Random right now 6,000 gold ahead, and they've broken the base.
Yeah, they broke in. There's still 2 outer turrets, so there's realistically like 2,000 gold that they can just pick up for nothing. If you're INTZ, you can't defend those. You have very good wave clear coming through from Xerath, but the one person you didn't want to get really huge was Maokai, because he's just such a good turret diver. The one person on the map right now that is absolutely mammoth is Maokai. He's about to pick up a Randuin's Omen. More health, more armor coming through just makes turret diving even easier. Not to mention his effective health pool with a Lulu is just mammoth. He can just legitimately dive any turret on the map.
Yeah, and I think that's an Iceborne Gauntlet actually with a second Glacial Shroud.
Is.
So if he wasn't annoying before, he's really annoying now.
Yeah, he certainly is. So going for an Iceborne Gauntlet, wow, one of the... We saw, I guess, a popularized Nidalee build coming through that used to run Iceborne Gauntlet, but recent time, not so much as they're engaging again.
Symphony going in there. Smurf almost catches Revolta, but he EQs out just in time. But Hard Random, they'll initiate on anyone at this point, even the fairly tanky Jarvan, because, again, they just don't care. They've got so much strength at this stage of the game.
Yeah, they have not a worries in a well, and once again, you just speed Smurf up. He walks towards people with that Lulu. You can poke as much as you want, but you're not going to poke out the Maokai.
No, he's just such a big tree at this stage of the game. Old, ancient, very powerful, and super tanky at this particular juncture. And INTZ, they've just run out of options. Their mid-game comp, the big damage, Rumble, Lucian, Xerath, they need to play from the front foot, and they've just not been allowed to in the last few minutes.
Yeah, exactly right. They've fallen too far behind now. They need to just continue to wave clear up. Maybe hope that they can cut the backline off, but Symphony, he's going in strong again.
Yeah, Kira even moving around into the open base for a swing. Smurf has dove straight into the team. Massive Graves ulti there, and Smurf is massive on the tree as he gets Wild Growth up as well. They'll dive in onto Tockers. They'll take him out. Revolta goes in onto Demonko. Lex, that's too much damage. Yang takes him out and uses the zombies. This actually might be a turnaround, but Smurf still chasing. It's a 2-for-3 trade, but Smurf still going in, and Rumble makes it 3-for-3.
Yeah, and Smurf just isn't taking damage.
He's just going in. Hemo playing safe. Somehow Macau gets evaporated there, and Jockster going to be the final kill. Kira cleaning house there, and Hard Random will get the ace and quite probably the game.
Yeah, they definitely will get the game there. They finished the day 3-1 with a loss against KLG of all teams. And wow, Hard Random look amazing heading into playoffs.
They look so strong. They bounce back so well here in this particular series to beat the Brazilians, one of the favorites, if not the favorite in the tournament, and make it look so convincing towards the end as well. A very well played game. Smurf TPs to a super creep just for a little bit of fun. And Hard Random, again, they'll be thinking as they hug each other. It's a great finish to the day, a great performance overall. But how did they pick up that first loss playing like this?
Yeah, exactly right. So they finish off 4-2, I believe. They lost against Bangkok Titans as well as KLG. So Bangkok Titans, they started very strong, but KLG, that is something that would be sitting there scratching their head saying, how are we not 5-1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Hard Random played 4 games today, had to run a very tough gauntlet, and came out with wins against every team except the one they probably expected to beat.
Yeah, exactly right. So they're able to take over. They enter the ending. They're not yet secure just because of exactly how the tournament works, but very, very close in getting there.
The standings are a little bit silly.
Yeah, they certainly are. We'll check them out coming in. So you see Hard Random at the top. They've played 6 games. They're 4-2. Bangkok Titans, they've only played 4 so far, so they've got 2 games coming up tomorrow. They're 3-1.
Yeah, they could push themselves into the top of the standings as we move down. INTZ now with that loss dropped to 3-2 there with 1 game left to play, so still need to pick it up. 4-2 looking good as a record to clinch the playoffs.
It does clinch their playoffs coming through there. There's only a potential 2 games to come through for Chiefs and Bangkok Titans. Besiktas unfortunately can't make it with a 4-3 now unless Chiefs go incredibly wrong.
I mean, they can with a lot of fuzzy tiebreaker math at 3-3, but 3-3 is not a good record moving through, and these teams can't afford any more losses. INTZ and Besiktas especially only have a game left to play, so if they somehow end up in 3-3, there'll be a huge mess down to the bottom of the tiebreakers. But the Chiefs, most importantly, they got 2 games to play tomorrow. They have to win out. But the crazy thing is, with all these standings, despite how good they look for certain teams, no one's out because of how nuts the first 2 days have been.
Yeah, exactly right. Everyone can lose in the top side of the bracket. Everyone can win in the bottom, and it really will go from there. I can't wait to see tomorrow's games because everything, we're like starting over, everything from scratch, only really hard random secure.
Yeah, I mean, a good performance there to finish their day. Still not secure, even at 4-2, just due to head-to-heads again. Losses and wins have been happening almost randomly, it feels like, with the teams. They've really brushed up after day 1. It's been a fantastic day of League of Legends, and 2 days in, and we still don't know who's going to be in our top 4.
Yeah, exactly right. So we will definitely have to see coming through with that one.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but we are done for day 2 here. It's been another crazy day, and we'll return tomorrow for day 3. For myself, Spawn, Piper Smithy, and Atlas, and our entire live production crew, we'll see you again tomorrow for more International Wildcard Invitational.